Welcome, college basketball fans, to the Full Court Press Podcast with LT and Sammy D. This is the podcast that brings you legendary stories from college basketball's golden era and dives in deep with a current analysis of today's game. Get ready for the most energetic and entertaining college basketball podcast around. Let's get it.
Hello and welcome to another Full Court Press, a college basketball coaches show simply powered by the Full Court Network. Sam is with me. Dude, did we dress each other or something like that?
I know. I feel like we coordinated some outfits here, but it's all good.
Yeah, that's funny. But we got a great one. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. Pound the subscribe button if you're watching us YouTube. So we're really excited. We've been wanting this guy for a couple years, and I feel like the summer is the time to attain goals and set new ones. But we got Notre Dame head men's basketball coach Micah Shrewsberry. Welcome to the Full Court Press, Coach.
Yeah, thank you guys. Happy to be here.
Yeah. Sam, they always say they're happy to be there. What do they say when they leave? It's like, what just happened?
I know. No, it's most of the time we get a good review from the coaches.
Most. The only one, but he got fired, was Billy Gillespie. So, Coach, he told me to shut up.
No, Coach Gillespie likes the stories, that's for sure. But yeah, we're going to get into this, Coach. We're excited to have you. And, you've been busy the last couple months, right? It seems like you have put together a roster for the Fighting Irish that really fits your coaching style. High basketball IQ, just efficiency. When I think of Coach Shrewsberry, I think of efficiency, right? The places you've been, the stats that you've put up there as a coach with the teams that have been under you. You've got a great true point guard, in Braden Smith that's coming in. Can you talk a little bit about that roster, build that you've been working on the last 1 or 2 months?
Yeah, it has been a process, and you go into it knowing a couple things. Like early on, we knew we were going to need a big, right? So that was really important in finding that, and then finding a point guard was really important right behind that. So trying to pair two guys together that complement each other, but really help raise the level of everybody else around them. So yeah, we're excited. Braden Smith is a guy, he's a career 2-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. Mm-hmm. And I've watched him a lot from his time last year at Gonzaga, but his time before that when he was at Colgate and had 2 tremendous years there. So we're fired up about him and getting him here and, letting him kind of lead the charge for us. Ironically, Braden was not the freshman of the year in the Patriot League. Ethan Roberts was, which is a crazy story. And now
that's funny.
It's really funny because Braden put on Instagram when they won the championship. He put freshman of the year under him holding the championship trophy. So he and Ethan got a lot to talk about when they both get here on campus. But
roommates, Coach, you should put them together.
Should. Yeah, absolutely. We're going to put them against each other on day one and let them settle it.
Yeah.
But, Ethan's a big-time scorer, guy that can really score the ball in a bunch of different ways, can shoot it, can score, attack in the rim. He's posting different guys. So just fantastic being able to stretch the floor. And then adding Logan Duncombe, who had a fantastic year for Winthrop, a guy with a lot of experience, right? Like, back when I was at Penn State, he was on those Indiana teams, right? And, he wasn't playing because the guys in front of him, Trace Jackson Davis was a really good player.
They were okay, yep.
Him learning behind those guys, knowing what it's like and what it takes to play at this level, but then going and have success at his last stop at Winthrop should help springboard him into more success here.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of Logan Duncombe. We've had Coach Clayman and Coach Huss on the show from High Point, so we've seen Big South in the flesh, and he's kind of like, I would love to see him go one-on-one with Pat Garrity. I'm sure Pat Garrity still has it. I mean, I'd love to see them go one-on-one, the two of them.
That it would be a foul fest, is what it would be, you know?
Hey, you know what? And the winner plays Bill Lambier.
There you go.
Definitely would be a foul fest there.
Yeah, absolutely. So can we define success in modern college basketball beyond wins and losses? I mean, we talked to a lot of coaches, as you probably know, and Sam obviously does too. And it is, and we're not going to go too deep into this. It's just, I want your opinion on this, but you look at Twitter, it's all about wins and losses. Okay. But from a coaching standpoint, I mean, you're in the grind. You're part of the grind every day. I guess, how do you define success now?
Yeah, I think you have to look at it in a few different ways. This is such a time of you're building a program from year to year, and you're trying to sustain success is the biggest thing. And how does that happen? I think the wins and losses are really important because I think that helps you sustain success. I think that helps you maintain a foundation to be able to move into the next year to start off where you want to be, right? Like, we didn't have success last year. We lost a bunch of guys. We brought in 10 new guys, right? And that's a challenge. And so I think the wins and losses are really important because it lessens your challenge, right? It's been 2 months of recruiting out of the transfer portal, recruiting freshmen, whatever it may be, that's taken away from your time of how do we start building this the next year? I know you're building it through recruiting, but like, when do you focus on this is how we want this team to be? This is what we want this team to look like. And if you can have great wins and losses, I think that helps you sustain building a program. That's how I think you have to kind of measure success right now, is how can you build a program?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When you're part of a program that has such a deep historical culture like Notre Dame, right? Like, how do you create that chemistry so quickly? When you have so many new faces entering the locker room, this summer, how do you intentionally accelerate the chemistry building before they even hit the floor? When you have this kind of century-long decade of tradition of excellence at Notre Dame.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of different ways, right? One, they have to learn each other. They got to learn, what each other's about. But also, like, what brought you here? Like, what is connecting us all here at this place? And now, like, what does this place do for you? And help those guys learn about Notre Dame. I think that's one of the biggest things. Like, at the end of week 2, we have an alumni weekend that's coming up. And I think it's important to get some of the basketball alumni here to speak to these guys about the tradition of Notre Dame basketball, and talk about kind of the standards that they had, whether it was with Coach Phelps or whether it was with Coach Bray or Coach McLeod, whoever it was. Like, what were those things that helped them have success? And how can that translate to us in 2026? It may not be the same thing, but there could be some things that, have always been really important for Notre Dame teams to have success. And maybe there's something that we get from those guys that we can lean into this year.
Sam, I need to go to that alumni weekend and see that. I want to see David Rivers and Kelly Tripucka's hair. Right? David Rivers had the soul glow, and Kelly Tripucka looked like he came out of a White Snake concert.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest. Those are two guys. My favorite Notre Dame player of all time is LaFonso Ellis. Hands down, and no disrespect to anybody else. But, you're an Indianapolis native. Shout out to Dick Clark's. I used to go there in college because we used to play our conference there really bad, but we won't go there. Let's not talk about me. So if you grew up in Indianapolis, you got, I mean, Indiana's the home of basketball, not even college, just basketball. I mean, it's basketball everywhere. Okay. Who did you grow up rooting for?
Yeah. That's, yeah. So,
yeah.
So I'll give you a full story here. So I moved to Indianapolis when I was in the 7th grade. Okay. So before that, I lived in Jeffersonville, Indiana. Okay. So Jeffersonville's right across the border from Louisville, Kentucky.
Yep.
So, here's what I grew up with as a kid. My parents went to Indiana. We lived across the bridge from Louisville. Kentucky was easily accessible on TV, like all these schools there in the heartbeat. So I got friends that were Kentucky fans, friends that were Louisville fans, friends that were Indiana fans. It was Indiana and Louisville for me. Those were like the two schools that I grew up like idolizing as a kid. And when I was growing up, like, I was 4 years old and Louisville won the national championship in 1980.
Yeah.
The next year, Indiana won in 81.
Yep.
Louisville won again in 86. Indiana won in 87. I was hooked on college. And Kentucky won the national championship in that time at some point in time. I don't know my history. 84, 85.
80. Yeah, they did. I'm trying to think now.
Yeah, they had won one, I believe, during that time. So like that was my childhood. Was growing up watching those teams. Like I used to love, the Indiana teams. I used to love the Louisville teams, right? Like Milt Wagner and Lancaster Gordon and those guys, like the McRae brothers.
Oh, Rodney McRae.
Oh, those guys, like, but at the same time, all the Indiana guys I used to love. So that's why I'm a college basketball coach. Yeah. Because of that, because of my childhood and watching those teams. So I was so far removed from Purdue. I had like Jeffersonville, Indiana, to West Lafayette seems like from here to Alaska.
Did you lie to Coach Painter when you went there twice to coach? Like, what do you think about Purdue? Oh man, I love the Boilermakers.
Yeah. Hey, when I got to Indianapolis, I got to watch them a lot more. I got to know who those guys were. But yeah, it was just, you couldn't pass that up, right? Like it was a chance to coach in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Gene Katie, you obviously knew who Gene Katie was.
Sure.
Like every kid growing up in Indiana during my era, it was Bob Knight, it was Gene Katie, it was Digger Phelps. Like there were some great coaches here in Indiana at that time.
Absolutely. I mean, we talk about just the love of college basketball. We think it's like one of the greatest things in the world, just from team building perspective and
the greatest
character development, all of that. But you spent, several years in the NBA, very successful years with the Boston Celtics. What really drew you back to the college game? Like what was kind of missing that you were like, this is your calling, is to be with men of this age and this time in their life. Like what was kind of that calling to say like, I want to be in the college game?
Yeah. I grew up always wanting to be a college coach, right? Like I said, that was my childhood, was college basketball. I never thought or had a dream of going to the NBA, right? It just happened because one of my great friends got a job there, when somebody that I spent a lot of time working with. So it was an opportunity I couldn't pass up, for my development as a coach. But I knew at some point in time I was coming back because I know things have changed greatly since I've come back to college in these years, but coming back, you still, like for me, the opportunity to see a kid and watch him grow, watch him develop, and kind of help him reach his dreams. Right? I know that's sometimes few and far between, but there are some kids that still do stick it out for 4 years and still do. Go through.
Who are you talking about? I've never heard of that before.
Yeah. There's a few. There's a handful. There were a handful of guys this year that did it. So
when's the last time you went to a graduation?
yeah, that's true. This year, I was lucky. I coached Kebajai for 4 years, and now it was 2 schools. It was one at Penn State, 3 at Notre Dame. But I coached him for 4 years. I'm going to have, obviously one is my son, Braden Shrewsberry, but Logan Imes will be a senior for us this year.
That's crazy.
Stuck it out for 4 years. So, we're in the minority, but I think it's a good thing that we do have some 4-year guys.
Yeah, when you talk about those 4-year guys, like how important is that? Just going into a season, just having those guys who have, they know your system, they know what the culture is, and now they have peers coming in. How important is it to have those 3-4-year guys who have been with you?
Yeah, it's just an extension of the staff, but like kind of showing these guys the ropes right away of kind of what this place is. How do you navigate it? Like, what a typical day is going to look like. Where can I go to get a haircut, or where do I need to go to find the best burger or wings or whatever it is, right? You got people that have been here that have done it. And that's very helpful. Like for us as a staff that, a couple guys that are speaking the same language and helping us learn our terminology early, but also helping these guys integrate into South Bend.
Yeah. Sam, I'm sorry. So, Coach, people ask you where to get a haircut?
Yeah, and I have no clue. That's the problem. That's why you need players that, like they're like, hey, where do we get a haircut at? I'm like, well, I can do it for you.
I can do
one style. I got one style, and that's it. That's all I can do.
Hey, it's easy, right?
Nice and clean.
Shaka Smart has 2 styles: hair and no hair.
2 styles. I'm so jealous of Shaka. He can go be bald,
right?
And then all right, you know what? I'm going to grow my hair back next year, and it's going to look exactly the same. Like if I grew my hair back, if I said I'm going into next year and I'm going to grow my hair back, there would be parts missing. A huge part right in the middle, right on top.
Nothing wrong with that. Hey, Coach Rhodes told me yesterday the bald look is back in, man. Look at VCU. So you got something going there. I mean, look at Danny Hurley. He's rocking it.
That's true. That's true.
Okay, you've been 3 years at Notre Dame. All right. Had some challenges. Obviously, I mean, it's ever changing. And if you don't have the resources, it's hard to compete. I mean, let's be honest. Where do you see Notre Dame in 3 to 5 years? Like we both have talked about this. We see you there. Okay. Mm-hmm. How do you see it in 3 to 5 years?
I think we're obviously growing. I think in 3 to 5 years, I see us starting to catch up a little bit. Right. Mm-hmm. That's the one thing I Pete Bavacqua has been great and really understanding about our program and our situation and trying to help fix it for us to be the best program that we can be. And I came here because I want to have success. And, I own the last 3 years. But I also I'm not ready to quit. I'm not ready to bury myself under the sand and oh man, we're not going to be able to do it. It's no, I'm a competitor. I'm a fighter. Yep. And we're going to keep recruiting the right guys, and we're going to keep recruiting the guys that are going to help us get it done here. So 3 to 5 years from now, I want to be a group and a team and a program that's, consistently back in the tournament mix every single year where Notre Dame should be. And, that's been my goal since I've got here is get Notre Dame basketball back to where we should be. And I think that's where we're heading.
Awesome. Yep. Sam, you want to start them off?
Yeah, Coach, we do a little thing called the shot clock. LT is going to fire off, 4 or 5 questions. Some of them might be quick little one-hitter answers. Other one might lead to a short story. I don't know, but the platform's going to be yours either way. So, LT, let's get it.
This one, Billy Gillespie told you to shut up.
No, this is before that.
Gillespie went on like a 9-minute story, and we're like, all right, like I think your SID is telling you to like wrap it up too,
Yeah, Sam says that was the first time, and I've known him for almost 30 years. That's the first time he's ever seen me just dumbfounded. So whatever. I had nothing to do with his letting go at Tarleton State. Okay, so one word to describe Notre Dame.
Special.
Okay, one word to describe ACC basketball.
Competitive.
With everything going on in college sports, why do you still coach? And it can be more than one word.
Yeah, I was going to say, how do we figure this one out here? I still do it, one, for the love of the game, but two, I still feel like you can impact young kids here. I know there are kids that are getting older and older, and they're not kids. There's people coming in playing college basketball at 23, 24, 25 years old. But there are still people that you can impact in a positive way. And whether that's academically, whether that's socially, whether that's spiritually, whether that's mentally, whether that's physically, or whether that's through basketball, you can still impact kids at this level.
Okay. I love it. Love it. Best coaching advice you've ever received?
Probably, I would say, really just be yourself, right? Like we learn from a lot of different coaches, and we study under all these coaches. And then when we get the chance to be a head coach, like you have to do it your way. You have to be yourself, and like, you can't be the people that you've worked for or studied under. You can take things from them, but you have to do it in your own way.
Yep. Love it. Love it. Okay, so we're going to do an Olympic competition between Coach Matt Painter and Coach Brad Stevens, right? I'm going to give you a couple events, and you get to choose who you think would win this event, okay? We're going to start simple, okay? 100-meter dash. Who would win that event, Painter or Stevens?
Brad Stevens is winning that one. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, Painter.
Okay. Triple jump. Well, we'll give some events that Painter can win. Triple jump.
I'm going to go with Coach Stevens on that one too, yeah.
Okay. What about the pole vault?
I can't see Coach Payne.
No, not with the pole vault.
No, he could take some of his 7-footers he's had the past couple of years and just throw them over there.
Yeah.
But
all right, two more events. Let's go to the pool here. All right. The butterfly competition, the butterfly stroke. Who would win that?
Wow, that butterfly is not really I know swimming, right? I know the butterfly, but I don't know, I don't think the butterfly is like a power kind of competition, right? Like it's more, there's too much movement involved, right? So that's why I'm going to stick with Coach Stevens again on the butterfly. You
gotta do some like powerlifting or something like that, LT. You get Coach Payne in there.
Okay. What about last competition? Rhythmic gymnastics.
Do you have to wear a costume, or can you just wear whatever?
100%.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think Coach Payne's getting blanked in all of these.
Yeah. LT picked too many like cardio and things like that. You gotta
wrestling.
You gotta get
wrestling.
like,
give them wrestling.
Yeah.
If it was like I don't know, baseball knowledge, Major League Baseball knowledge, like that Payne, not even
Let's
close.
go.
Okay. All right. Give me your funniest recruiting story.
Okay. Orlando, Florida. I'm going to try and remember what year this would have been. Maybe 2009, 2000. Yeah, maybe 2009, 2010. July, into the summer in July. I'm down in Orlando at the Disney for the AAU Nationals. I go off site. So I leave the milk house. I go off site to a high school to go recruiting to watch an Indiana team play. Watch them play. The game ends. It's the last game of the day, but I got to go back to the milk house. And if you guys remember this or know, like you park and then you got to walk like 3 miles to get to the door. It's 1,000 degrees outside, and then it's like 2 degrees inside. So that's all that's in my mind. I go to leave that high school gym, and it is one of those torrential downpours. So I'm like, no chance. Like I got to run to my car, drive, soaking wet, then drive or run through the rain to get to the door. So I'm like, I'm not going. I'm just going to sit in here and watch, the next game, whatever it is. And I start watching, and there's a team from Florida playing, and they got this long athletic kid that's just in there blocking shots and dunking and doing all this stuff. So I kind of mark his name down because I don't know who he is. Florida kid. End up getting back. This is when I'm at Butler. I end up getting back, kind of following up with it, and ended up being a kid named Kyle Marshall that we ended up recruiting. I ended up recruiting him. We ended up getting him. And then 2011 was his freshman year. We played Florida in the Elite Eight. He's a Florida kid. We played Florida in the Elite Eight. And he had a tremendous game on the offensive glass in overtime to help us go to the Final Four. So without that rainstorm, I never run across Kyle Marshall.
You got that right. You got that right. All right, last question. So you're on an airplane for 10 hours. All right. You got to pick 2 coaches to sit in the middle of. I was going to say ACC officials, but I'm going to be respectful. Give me the 2 head coaches you'd want on the plane with you for 10 hours on each side.
Is this current head coaches, or can they be from the past?
Current head coaches.
Current head coaches, okay.
Current head coaches. One, I would hope that these seats are comfortable seats, so we're not like way in the back.
Last row in front of the bathroom in the back.
That might change who I pick, right? I was going on pure entertainment. Now I need to find like the smallest 2 coaches in the country, so I have some room around those guys. I'm going to go one. I'm going to go with Coach Painter because like the stories.
You felt sorry for him because the Olympic Games competition.
Yeah, he just got crushed in the Olympics.
Yeah.
Like just the entertainment factor. Like,
oh, I'm sure.
That we're gonna laugh the entire trip. Let me try and think of who else is just like that as a coach. There's a lot of like great, off the wall kind of low key coaches. You know who's low key funny? That I don't know if you look at him, you wouldn't probably think this, but TJ Otzelberger is like he's a funny dude, man. Like he's got he might be a good companion to ride and talk. Those sitting with those 2 guys, you're gonna have some laughs and some entertainment.
The good thing with TJ Otzelberger is always like this, so you'd have more room on your side.
Yeah, that's right. You just gotta scoot him over.
Big ass arms and small shirts. But Sam, finish them off, man.
Yeah, Coach, we're going to turn it over to you last minute of this episode. Anything you want to share to the Fighting Irish alumni, boosters, fan base, students, like what can they be looking forward to as they enter fall, basketball season, like any non-conference games that you guys have announced that you've got circled on your calendar, at the platform's yours, Coach.
Yeah, well, we're fired up. As we sit here, we got some guys that are already back on campus. And just because they want to be here early, they want to get to work. With 10 new players, there's so much new energy. We have 10 new players. We added a couple of new staff members. It feels brand new. And that's like the energy that we're carrying. It's some fun and some freshness that's happening here. I'm fired up about where we're going. I'm fired up about what we're going to be able to do as a group. And then, like, what we've announced, we've already, we're starting our season in Rome, playing against Villanova,
awesome.
which is going to be an unbelievable game and a great atmosphere, but a great trip for our players to experience that. The Players Era, we've been in it now year 3, starting with this small upstart program, the Florida Gators, out there. So that's going to be like fun, right? Like just an opportunity to go and test yourself and play. And, we finished a couple home and homes. Like last year we went on the road, played at TCU, at Ohio State. They both come back to us this year. We have another home game in the SEC ACC Challenge, which will be announced at some point in time. So we got a great home schedule, with those 3 games. The game in Rome is going to be fantastic, and the Players Era is always a great challenge. But I'm fired up about this season. I'm fired up to get going and feel the energy, and you'll feel the energy on campus. And that's we are pushing to get Notre Dame basketball back, and that's our goal, and that's what we're going to keep fighting to do.
Yeah, Sam, no one's told them they're going to Rome, Georgia, not Rome, Italy.
I've actually said that multiple times in our staff meetings. Like, guys, this is when we didn't have a team,
right? Yeah.
When there were like 2 guys on our team, I was like, guys, we're going to cancel this and go to Rome, Georgia. And
it's beautiful in the fall. So
and we're going to play like some small time high school team from down there.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Hey, there's some mid-majors that are about to schedule them because they can't get any games. So, I mean, that's not that funny, but it's true. But so, Coach, we really appreciate you're going to stick on for one more minute. Sam, that was awesome. Some fun and some freshness. I'm going to start using that
like
thing,
that.
But we love it. But, Coach, we really appreciate it. We're excited for Notre Dame basketball. We're also excited that you're playing our alma mater in an exhibition game. We'll take an exhibition game. I know you're scared to play them in a real game. DePaul Blue Demon.
That's right.
No, that's going to be awesome. I love your schedule. I mean, you're obviously not scared to play anyone, and it shows. And, people, we had Penn State last week. We've got you this week. Both you guys are not scared to play anyone, and I look for big jumps for both you guys. I know there's a connection because of Penn State. But, Coach, we really appreciate you. Can stick on one more second. Sam, another great episode. Love having you on, brother. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to follow us, subscribe, rate, and review wherever you can. And we'll see you next week on the Full Court Press College Basketball Coaches Show.